but we are in it. We're in game number 3, and will DeMu be able to make his route back? We're checking in on his base now. He's spawning in as the blue, as that Chinese that we were just talking about.
I'm not sure about that opening that we're seeing here from DeMu right now. DeMu playing as the blue and the Chinese against Puppypaw's English, and he's making his mill very far out from the TC. I mean, if I'm a longbow, I look at that and I go, nice.
Yeah, this is one of the things that is, you know, some people call it the Drongo build or whatever you want to call it, the mill next to the TC build. It started to be utilized so much, but it was mainly used for the civilizations that really pressure your gold, your berries, anything early on. And speaking of that pressure, Puppypaw is starting out with a Dark Age Men-at-Arms. You can see he's trying to get the vision, trying to get his scouting to know where to send that Men-at-Arms, and I think he smiles seeing that gold vein nice and forward close to his base.
I'm not sure if this is the correct approach from Puppypaw though, because as a Chinese, there's one thing that you really like to do. It's generate money out of thin air. And you could, in theory, just force drop off your villagers on your berries, generate tax like that passively, and get your way up to H2 like that, get a Barbican out early, and then you get control back of your gold just without having to invest into any units early on.
Yeah, but I will say, as long as Puppy doesn't run too far into the town center and take some of those hand cannon slit shots, then it still does cause a bit of annoyance. It still allows the English to kind of get these fine timings behind this. They're going to need a barracks in the long run, and all he's invested into is one single Men-at-Arms.
And the barracks, which he might wanted to go for earlier, later on anyways, but it's still an investment early on, and I'm still okay. DeMu, it's time to go for the tax evasion movement. Well, is it really tax evasion when you're generating more taxes? But
no, I think he's raising the taxes. If anything, now is when the tax official's knocking on your doorstep. But as you just saw, there's only 19 tax inside that mill. He's gonna need a good bit more gold to be able to age up, and that takes quite a bit of time. It's not like those vills can just, you know, drop off tax all the time. Slowly ticking on up.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, with the Chinese, whenever you drop off any little bit of resource at one of your production buildings other than the TC, you're generating tax, and your imperial official is able to take up to 40 from that and put it into the TC, and you're getting gold basically out of thin air from that, which is going to be really important here when your gold is under pressure, because right now, DeMu, he is missing a lot of gold when it comes to aging up. He still needs 42 gold, so needs more than one pickup from the mill when it comes to taxes. Now you're able to just force drop off whenever your villagers are only carrying a single bit of food. I think DeMu just did that.
Yeah,
There's
he did.
no way he got that much tax.
Yeah, he just did it again. I think you just saw. So should be getting enough, but I still will say this has caused quite a bit of delay, quite a bit of annoyance, as the council hall, it's on its way up. It's almost at halfway. The mining camp, actually, it's this Men-at-Arms has been working hard with this torch trying to take down this mining camp, and it actually is about to be put on fire.
Sure, if DeMu gets a nice Barbican here out on that gold, he can just rush supervise the gold and get enough resources really quickly to go for his own dynasty at still a somewhat competitive timing here without too big of a delay. Now he has the resources, going to send a single villager out for that. Now he's actually not going for it. He's going for the Imperial Academy, which can also make sense early on, because the Imperial Academy actually doubles the tax that you generate from buildings within its influence. The only thing that I'm really scared for right now for DeMu is that him not getting that Barbican out early is going to mean that if Puppypaw is going to be investing into longbows, which it looks like he's going for, judging by how he made the council hall with his gold villagers, yeah, looks like it's going to be the longbows coming out. And yeah, this is going to be an extended feudal age push, which is definitely the right approach to go for when you're playing against the Chinese.
Yeah, definitely scared for DeMu at this point. Looks like that Vil just thinks he can get away with some mining after rebuilding that mining camp fully. So let's see if Puppypaw notices this. But one of the things you might say is, yeah, DeMu can react with the stables now, but horsemen don't really do too well into spears, and Puppypaw already has spears in queue because he had that barracks that was built from the Dark Age. So really kind of going to be able to start to take some control. The first horseman is out from DeMu as expected, but Puppypaw is starting to mass up together and will just force this pressure down even further that he's been putting on.
This is dangerous. DeMu investing 400 food almost into the 400 food into those horsemen. That would have been enough food for Song Dynasty if only he didn't miss out on the gold that he needed for it. And I mean, decide, what would you rather have? Your horsemen against spearmen in order to defend your gold, or a barbican?
Yeah, I mean, that's where the question is the barbican, does he want it to protect his gold though? Or does he want it to potentially protect up something of as far as, you know, maybe another food resource or something else on the map? And wow, I did look at that little opening, allows the horseman to run on away, going to try to pick off maybe some of those reinforcing units from Puppypaw. That is usually the big weakness of the English, is hitting their units as they are not grouped in together.
Exactly, so definitely the right approach here. Does have a spearman in the back here, is going to get the brace off, but spearman against 3 horsemen is still going to go the way of the dodo. Now longbowman also getting caught out by one of the horsemen. Does almost lose the horseman, but will stay alive.
Yes.
But on low HP.
Yeah, still so much damage that was able to be cut out from that spearman, and it just shows how effective that counter mass can be. DeMu starting to mass up at home. It's horsemen and archers. No chooks, because no Song Dynasty is has been dropped yet. So just respecting this aggression from Puppypaw.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a game right now that we're seeing from DeMu where him skipping out on the Song Dynasty. It's a different style of China than we've seen recently. It's definitely something new. I'm wondering why exactly he's going for something new in such a high stakes game right now. But could be that maybe he's practiced this on the side. Not too sure about it though, because right now Puppypaw is just building up his mass right now. And if it gets to an extended feudal age between these two players, the English are always going to have the upper hand because they get access to the men-at-arms, and men-at-arms in feudal age can be very, very wild.
Yeah, and I think it might not be as much as this being the plan from DeMu, but more of this being the reaction from DeMu. Whether it be correct or incorrect, this was where that men-at-arms might have just forced him on the back foot a little bit and just wasn't really sure exactly how he wanted to react. And this is what he has chosen, which is the horsemen, archers versus longbow spears, which I feel like goes the way of the longbow spears.
Yeah, that definitely goes the way of the longbow spears. I just tried playing it today, and it didn't go too well for the archer horseman for sure. And now we see Barbican of the Sun being built here on the stone, so could potentially see the second TC Song coming out after all. But I feel like this is so delayed right now, and Puppypaw is such a fearful, like, frightening mass right now out on the field that, I mean, DeMu has to make something happen here soon when it comes to his defense, because once Puppypaw is going to go for rams, I'm not seeing a composition really that DeMu can go for in order to fight that back. Maybe we could see some Master GNU kind of play coming out from him. But even then, even Master GNU, they don't deal too well against the increased attack speed from the longbows and their added range.
Yeah. One thing I will say is this Barbican location is actually kind of what I expected from the Barbican. It protects up his stone, but more importantly, it protects up that food next to it. There's deer and there's berries behind it, which really will allow DeMu to secure that location if need be. And that's usually this vital point in this mid game for China, their vital weakness. But longbows, spears starting to push up. Remember, DeMu is now investing into this, investing into a secondary TC, and that means less military going to be coming out.
Paul has just now dropped his blacksmith, so blacksmith upgrades are going to be coming in soon. Starts with the attack upgrade, and once that comes in, these longbows are going to be taking really good damage against the horsemen. And I mean, that's like the one tanky unit that DeMu has that he's kind of counting on here, on the horsemen having a good survivability against these longbows. And if that's not the case, then it's going to become really dangerous. And now villagers on the stone, we talked about it earlier, it's just the range on these longbows. You have to be really, really careful.
Yeah, it's just one of these, like, even if DeMu is, like, able to barely stay out of range, or the Barbican's able to damage the longbows when they step into range, it's still very, very difficult for him to gather that. However, he gets enough stone for that secondary TC. Puppypaw moving forward with some villagers to get that outpost forward, give him that network of castles bonus, and look at that, even forcing forward towards the berries. Luckily for DeMu, he has secured other food sources on the opposite side of that Barbican.
Yeah, second TC is now getting dropped, but we're getting to that point where Puppypaw has enough income in order to make Men-at-Arms, and Men-at-Arms are gonna be in queue now for him. Still doesn't have a Pierce damage upgrade, and Jugunu are slowly but surely being built here by DeMu. If DeMu ramps up his production on the Jugunu, which he probably won't because he's missing a lot of gold for that. Now Jugunu, they still cost 30 gold each, even with tax. With the mass of Jugunu that you want, you're not going to be able to do that without any gold access.
Yeah, the key here for DeMu is going to be if he can continue to maybe cause some damage with the Horseman raid that he is attempting right now, but it's been spotted out. Puppypaw already taking some shots there. Longbow mass is actually what spotted out. DeMu going to go ahead and go for a surround there, and this is a decent little pickup, but needs to run away before the spears close the gap, and they do. Able to get a few more shots, and I think this trade still goes into the favor of Puppypaw now.
Yeah, definitely. Looking at the destruction value, another horseman going down there, and it's 580 to 840 in the destruction value department. And I mean, DeMu, he's got that second TC out now, but only 4 villagers ahead, and this is the really dangerous timing. Puppypaw did such a great job of delaying that second TC here from DeMu with all the aggression getting put on early, and DeMu just not going for that Barbican first means that the second TC got so delayed that the timing is off, and now the archers actually from Puppypaw going for a reach around and might actually be able to deny the deer completely here.
I think they are. A couple of those deer are still alive. Puppypaw might just snipe them out to kill them in range of his longbows. More importantly, though, DeMu still more idle time. He has another food resource, but where's Puppypaw gonna go? To the next food resource and just not allow DeMu to breathe, not allow him to stabilize up that food resource location.
Even gonna be taking the hill here. With that hill, he's gonna be seeing the villagers there on the berries.
Oh no.
And DeMu doesn't know. That could be a lot of that villager if Puppypaw waits long enough for that engagement to happen.
Oh, DeMu reacts with his main force, though, so it's not going to be Vil kills. It's going to be a couple of these army forces, maybe some Vil kills along the way. There's one and a second one going down. The key, oh, the woodline.
Oh,
There's
he can
vision
see.
of the woodline.
Oh no.
Oh, that is devastating now, because that means DeMu basically has to idle all of this production that he has. He's got a lot of wood, but he's no food. No food at all.
Yeah. He still does have the berries there in the front, but doesn't mean that DeMu is going to have to push out in the opposite direction. Puppypaw leaving that outpost a little bit too undefended now, but look at the longbow mass. 30 longbows out on the field, and men-at-arm numbers also climbing.
I mean, DeMu has no food. His income per minute starting to climb back up, but that's because his whole economy of food is all in one spot. Puppypaw denying the deer yet again, denying the other berries, and if you look at his home berries, all of those vills, they're going to eat through those berries so fast.
Yeah, they're going to be gone insanely fast. Now a couple villagers here from Puppypaw are actually getting caught out. Not sure if all of those will be going down, but Puppypaw could potentially look to drop some ramps, and I'm not sure if he's already gotten siege engineering or if he still needs to research it. Just to get the upgrade for the Pierce armor on his units. Wait, is DeMu on stone again? No, that's just his military. For a second, I thought that those were villagers on stone.
There it is. We see it. 2 berry bushes left on that home berries. That's it. That's his whole food income. You can already see villagers starting to go idled. He's pushing forward with his military, but military numbers are lacking, and Puppypaw is just going to stay pressuring that location, it seemed.
Yeah, Puppypaw took his time, did finish up the deer, and like the men-at-arm numbers now, they're climbing and climbing. He's on 12 men-at-arms with the Pierce armor upgrade, so these men-at-arms take barely any damage from the archers, from the Jugunu that DeMu has, and DeMu's army number isn't looking that bad. He's actually got a whole lot of horsemen out on the field right now, but horsemen don't do too well against spearmen and the men-at-arms that Puppypaw has right now. Army number looking really, really strong for Puppypaw.
Yeah, and it's one of those that if DeMu takes the fight, he has to commit to take the fight. But it's hard because, like, the Horseman can close the gap, yes, but the Chooks will want to fire and take out the Spears, which it's harder for those to get to where they need to with all of these longbows that Puppypaw has. Really going to utilize that range and the location perfectly. You could see the two different groups. He's about to head straight towards this middle. Fight might just be going down here in the next minute, and this might just be the game decider.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be the game decider, but DeMu, he shouldn't want to take this fight yet. He definitely needs some more units right now. He does have a good number of Archer and Jugunu, but just not enough, I feel like. You definitely want to have way more Jugunu out on the field than you have currently. He does have a really good food income now that he finally managed to get out onto the deer, but is going to have to vacate that really soon.
Yeah, every single time he's secured a food location, that is where Puppypaw has decided to start pressuring. And speaking of, that's the next location now. He's trying to grab all the deer he possibly can before rolling out. One Vil gets taken down, but now main clash going on. Rams just hanging out on the backside. Horsemen can't engage the Men-at-Arms. They can. They are that frontline tank. Just run forward and let the Spears defend and let the longbows fire down. And that's exactly what's going on. Puppypaw looks to be winning this fight so heavy-handedly.
Men-at-Arms just got A-moved into the Archer line from DeMu. So many Horsemen already went down. The Spearmen, they're just hiding between all of the Archers. It's so hard to micro them down, and the Men-at-Arms, the count is still rising.
And the Horsemen, they're gone. No more Horsemen here. The Rams take down the mill. That means no more food from DeMu, and DeMu having to fall back, having to run towards home, but the Men-at-Arms are chasing. The Men-at-Arms are in hot pursuit.
DeMu actually walking all the way across to the other side of the map, going for the berries over there, could potentially go for the boar there, but now that Rams are in play, you can't run forever, because Puppypaw, he's gonna chase you all the way into your base and beyond.
Yeah, we've just now finally started to see some more villager picks, but the problem hasn't been the villager picks. It's been the idle time that Puppypaw's been able to cause and all of the resource denial. Great job picking up the rest of this military mass as well. Just more and more military falling. DeMu getting his army numbers more than doubled, and villagers cut off from his main economy, cut off from his main TC. I'm not sure how much longer he's going to be able to last in this series.
Yeah, 21 Men-at-Arms out on the field right now. Puppypaw able to scale his food economy with the farms, and yeah, the economy from DeMu is just completely exposed right now.
Yep, backside berries looking to be secured and taken. He's on that front side secured berries with 35 villagers, and Puppypaw dropping the outpost again, wants to resecure the network of castles bonus, and he's not doing that with a few vills. He is committing way heavier into that and getting stoned probably for outpost upgrades.
Village could also get taken down now by DeMu. That would actually pop cap him. The village already getting, they take so much damage from these two Rams, and just a couple more hits, then the village is going to go down. Horsemen can't really take these engagements here. There's so many longbows. The longbows are almost able to one-shot these horsemen. Horsemen have to vacate the premises, and village does go down.
Yeah, village goes down. A couple of those horsemen go down, and all during that time, maybe like 1 or 2 Men-at-Arms got taken down from diving the TC. And Puppypaw, he just says, all right, good luck. Diving the TC is exactly what he decides to do. He knows he has too much here for DeMu to deal with. And this isn't even the secondary TC. This is the main. This is the tanky TC.
Yeah, so much HP on that TC, but DeMu, he does take the fight. Horsemen dive onto the Rams, just wants to take the Rams down, wants to make sure that the Rams aren't going to be able to finish off that TC, but it's already so low HP, close to burning right now. Last Ram does survive, and I mean, the TC has been constantly firing onto those longbows, but the number is just still super solid here from Puppypaw when it comes to the longbows. And now Men-at-Arms are just diving in. They don't fear the arrow fire. They don't fear it. They're just running by.
Yeah, running by, head into that wood line. The boys have been pulled. They're headed over to that last Ram. It wasn't villagers inside the TC. It was military. It was Chooks inside the TC, but those backside Men-at-Arms are crushing down those villagers as they run. The TC stays alive at just an inkling of health, and the villagers, they're able to rebuild it, able to keep it healing. The Chook mass pushing Puppypaw back away. Will this be enough, though? I don't think so.
Yeah, it looks like DeMu, he actually went to get a ton of gold here at one point. I'm
He's on the west side of the map in gold, on gold, where those vills were on berries.
Yeah, but now Puppypaw is going up with the King's Palace, and once he's up with the King's Palace, I mean, there's still men-at-arms in the base from DeMu. He's still bleeding resources everywhere, and once that A-job is finishing, I mean, that's the point where Puppypaw is on a second TC as well, and he's done so much damage to DeMu this game. 24 villager kills, and I mean, DeMu's still ahead, but there was so much idle time this game.
Yeah, this is also one of those things that's so nice when you're Puppypaw. He also still has the outpost up front for this vision. Reinforcements can go this way. Castle Age upgrades about to be able to come through, but all of these vills are such low health, so when he comes back that next time, it's that much easier. That being said, DeMu pushing forward wants to kill these longbows before any upgrades come through, before the men-at-arms upgrades comes through, because that's really going to be the hard thing to deal with.
We're actually doing a really good job here of thinning out the longbow count, and that is so important. You never want to let the English just mass up enough longbows there, and yeah, actually take some really good engagements here. Now actually has the military lead and could potentially look for an A-drop himself sometime soon. Still has some deer that he got pulled off earlier, and he's out on the map like Lipany, taking the berries with supervision from an Imperial official.
Yeah, the problem is that's one of those things that at any point in time, if Puppypaw spots out that massive villagers that DeMu has kept expanded and out, that is his saving grace, and that is also Puppypaw's dagger.
I feel like by the time Puppypaw notices it, the berries already all gotta be depleted. I mean, berries isn't that great of a food source, but when you supervise it with an Imperial official, it actually becomes relatively decent, and definitely a resource that's plenty available off here on a map like Lipany. And now A-Trap could be coming in, and DeMu, he does have enough resources to pump, or rather he does have the income in order to pump out a couple of crossbows and Nest of Bees, and with that should be able to at least force Puppypaw into a different kind of approach to finish this game off.
Yeah, Armor Chad upgrade is coming through. Outpost on the front side is a sprinkled emplacement in it, but the question really is for Puppypaw is, does he spot out DeMu's base and wonder where he's getting gold? Where is he getting the resources for the age for these units? Because it has to be from somewhere.
Surely it's all tax.
Yeah, surely it's tax. He's not getting gold somewhere else on the map. He definitely has granaries behind that he's transitioned to too. He's not on berries anywhere on the map either.
Men-at-arms now lurking around. Where are they going to next? There still hasn't been a move out from Puppypaw. Oh my god, DeMu is not going to berries with the next pull there of his villagers. He's going on stone. This is... I see a keep here sometime soon to happen. That's a lot of villagers on stone, and he's supervising gold as well. All right.
But where's the food for him? This is his last set of berries on the backside. He needs to get food somewhere else on the map, and he ran out of those berries now that we're just seeing. He's on the last ones. The men-at-arms, they're tanking that forward spot. Nest of Bees firing down. There's villagers there to heal the Nest of Bees as well. Will Puppypaw have enough here to keep causing more damage? He'll definitely get a few more Vill picks here. A lot of low health villagers focusing the Imperial official, and gets another Imperial official pick too.
Oh, it looks like DeMu, though, is able to hold. One more crossbows are coming out, and the heal on that Nest of Bees just coming in clutch. Is able to hold the position, and if he can get a transition into granaries at some point, could be looking good for him. But yeah, right now, he's just got 0 food income. The move onto the stone just wasn't supplemented with a move onto another berry spot, and yeah, right now, he just has no food access at all.
Yeah, we'll need a huge granary transition or something of the sort. Needs to expand out to some other food sources on the map. And I think Puppy might be thinking and wondering again where DeMu is going to be going towards, because he has to be affording these units and everything from somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. And DeMu is getting close to the stone that he needs for a keep. Question is, where's the keep gonna be? I mean, there's still a boar alive on the side of DeMu, but now I see a single red dot on the left side of the map.
I think he spots it.
I think that's not a scout. I think that's a men-at-arm. Or
really?
A longbow, maybe? I mean, longbows have a lot of line of sight.
Oh, it's a men-at-arms.
It is a men-at-arm.
So he spots out the mill, so he knew that there were vills at these berries at some point, but he doesn't know where they are now, and Puppy is going to not be able to expand too much further out with DeMu dropping that keep protective here on the first one.
Yeah, and Puppypaw, he does have the outpost in the front. He knows that DeMu just went out to that wood line, and is going to be pressuring that next. Now, DeMu does have a good military force here right now.
And there he goes. He spots the
coming
keep.
in. Oh, yeah. But now he can't really do too much against that keep, though. It's a Chinese keep. That thing one-shots men-at-arms.
Yeah, instead he drops a siege workshop on the front side behind his 2 outposts that are upgraded, and he moves forward towards that wood line that's super vulnerable. He wanted to wait for his whole mass before attacking. Maybe should have just pushed forward initially, though. And now worried that Demu's reinforcements are there, can't take the fight. The double nest of bees is the big thing to worry about for Puppy's army.
Puppypaw has almost 40 men-at-arms right now out on the field. This reminds me of a game that I just played against Kelp, where he went for only men-at-arms, and it's dangerous against the English. I mean, the English, they have such a great food economy. They're able to just pump out more and more men-at-arms to get to like a really, really crazy number. But the emplacements right now actually doing a good bit of damage here right now to the army of DeMu, and Puppypaw is just content of letting the towers, since they're reinforced, just tank up, and now there's the Springle as well.
Yeah, I think that's really what he was waiting for, was that Springle to come out. The villagers now, they're vulnerable on that front side. DeMu falls back with his army, falls back with his economy as well. Springle's moving forward. Nest of Bees are getting healed up, and it takes 3 shots for that Springle to kill him.
Is going to be taking the fight now. Nest of Bees isn't getting healed anymore. Does pull the villager in order to get rid of the Springle. Now pulls some additional workers in order to repair that Nest of Bee. Springle gets taken down really swiftly there.
And I think Puppy just focusing villagers this whole time, and look at all of the villagers that have gone down during this. There's so many blue bodies on the ground. DeMu's down 28 villagers right now.
65 villager kills this game, and another Springle just almost kills that Nest of Bee there. And I mean, Ram could potentially take down the Outpost. No, Outpost might even survive this. Yeah, Outpost lives.
I'm pretty sure that was 30 vills, at least.
Yeah, at least. I mean, DeMu just lost so many villagers there. Now Puppypaw is the one with the villager lead here in this game.
Yeah, it feels weird saying that with the way this game has gone for so long, but Puppy finds himself at a really, really nice spot as far as his economy goes. Just needs to break out and kill some of these expended economy pockets from DeMuslim, or just push forward for another regroup with that men-at-arms mass again, and just, if it works once, if it works twice, go for it a third time.
Yeah, I mean, behind this, DeMu also wasn't able to further scale his granary transition. He did finally go out onto the board. Now there's a lot of Springles out on the field, so the Nest of Bees, there's definitely going to have to be a move. And now forward keep getting dropped with not a lot of villagers.
And a lot of low health villagers as well. A couple of those are like one shot from a Vill Shiv. Nest of Bees, though, will start getting one shot by the Springled mass. They get a couple fires in, and there's a Springled out from DeMu to try to counteract the siege on the side of Puppy. But the men-at-arms are closing the gap, and there's just not enough crossbows, it seems, to deal with this many men-at-arms.
Is able to take the Springles out, though, here, and now the keep finishes. DeMu once again is able to hold.
DeMu holds again and again and again. It just feels crazy saying this, as I feel like this game would have been over ages ago if it were another player other than DeMu, but he's still able to hold. And I mean, I feel like if he hadn't have thrown away those 30 vills, he would have been in a really, really good spot right now.
DeMu behind all of this is also, I mean, he got one of the relics, he got one of the sacred sites even, somehow. He's out there on the left side of the map, and just Puppypaw not really contesting that right now.
No, not really at all. Might just want to start respecting that western side, and that's where DeMu's really getting all of his resources. He's been off of gold on these front 2 main nodes the whole time that Puppy's been attacking, and if Puppy would have denied China from gold, that's like their heart. That China needs gold for all of these things.
Exactly, and now DeMu, he's even going for stonewalls now. He is stonewalling in his base. He wants to make this go to the later stages of the game, and I feel like that's probably the only way for DeMu to win this one, but English in the later stages of the game is like one of those systems that can actually deal with China.
Yeah, they definitely can. They have a couple of obviously added effects. It's one of those that I think China's stronger when there's gold on the map, but once there's no gold on the map, that's where English really, really excels. Because they have their good old enclosures. But that's what Imperial Age is, and I don't know if we'll get to Imperial Age, as Puppypaw has started to respect this western side. He starts to take down this keep, brings a ram, brings a trebuchet, and is ready to start pushing forward from this location.
Goes at a timing for the keep when DeMu just finished with all of the stone mines there. Now there's the keep going up in the middle of the side as well. Walls now coming up from Puppypaw as well. Might not be able to finish them though if the keep finishes.
Oh, he just barely spots the keep, but I think he spots the keep a little too late. Fortunately for him, he has the necessary requirements to start sieging down keeps. That's the benefit of, you know, having to counteract the first one, is once you've built the necessary tools to kill the first, you can go ahead and kill the next ones. Will deny one of those relics from DeMu, and should be able to easily take down this next keep he dropped as well.
Both players right now looking to go to Imperial Age, looking at the resources right now, but difference in the income. Puppypaw leading with almost 1,000 food per minute right now.
Yeah, it's still that granary transition, which has been started for DeMu. It looks like it is almost fully in play behind that initial wood line, but he is starting to run lower on the map, and the Berkshire Palace is chosen. It's in the middle of those two sacred sites on the western side, so Puppypaw going up to Imp, and the same thing, timing being matched from DeMu on the other side with the Spirit Way.
So both age-ups gonna be happening roughly at the same time. Never mind Spirit Way, it's China. It's getting speed build. 12 villagers just building way quicker than 28. Probably not all villagers from there at the Berkshire yet, but the speed is still very impressive there. Keep does go down in the middle now though.
Yeah, keep goes down right as those stone walls are finishing up too. So Puppypaw has the whole entire eastern side of the map of his fully stone walled off. And there's a sacred site behind that too he should be able to secure.
Age up is happening now here. Berkshire is going up, and that landmark has an insane range on it. I mean, it's gonna range a lot of the wood lines here, and wood in the later stages of the game is gonna become really, really important here.
Yeah, Puppypaw secures up 2 relics for himself. Should be able to get a 3rd as well as the sacred sites. So starting to get some extra gold benefits for him, and starting to deny DeMu from more and more of this map that DeMu was able to be on earlier.
DeMu currently still sitting on an only ranged composition right now. In these later stages of the game, you definitely need men-at-arms, you need palace guards, you need fire lancers or horsemen or something like that in order to raid your opponent. Nothing like that right now out on the field for DeMu, and looks like Puppypaw is just gonna slowly but surely push into the base of DeMu, and once again, longbow mass looking strong, and longbows, they take really good trades against units like crossbows or Shuganu.
Yeah, and I mean, this is kind of playing into the English's hands. The English likes to fight all together as one big mass. So what's the way to counteract that? Use mobility, raid, push and pull them into all different spots of the map. But as you said, DeMu, he's on all range. He can't do that. He's got the immobile mass as well.
We're now seeing the palace palace guard upgrade coming in for DeMu, and with that could potentially be looking for palace guard switch here. But problem is, Puppypaw already completely walled in the right-hand side of the map.
Yeah, there's no real places that he's going to be able to raid. Go through the stone walls or go through the Berkshire. Take your choice. And Puppypaw's happy with either one, as the stone walls take quite a bit of time. The Berkshire is where his main army is, and he's actually the one being the aggressor again.
Enclosures has finished up for Puppypaw. He still has villagers and gold, so his gold income is just looking absolutely tremendous right now for him. And yeah, the army count just way in the favor of Puppypaw right now. Now, DeMu, he does have a good siege number, does have 3 Springles, and once again, has to go out for wood now, out on the map, and Puppypaw spots it.
Oh no. He spots it, and he is there quick. He's got those men-at-arms with the golden caps on it. Longbow's there as well. And you might say, oh yeah, he's starting to bleed those units and throw those away. Yeah, those farms, infinite resources, infinite gold, and they are able to produce these men-at-arms so easily.
Yeah, you can produce these men-at-arms literally forever. They just never stop. The flood never stops of men-at-arms, and that's a truly dangerous thing when playing against English. Just the you're playing against this huge fucking army, and you kill it again and again and again, and it just keeps coming and it keeps coming, and they never stop coming, so to say, and it becomes really, really devastating to keep trying and holding and actually taking good fights, but the army just keeps coming. Now Imperial Palace coming out here from DeMu is gonna mean that he's gonna have access to Fire Lancers.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of resources, though, and he's already finding himself at that deficit. He doesn't have gold to spare in the bank, so he's going to need those Fire Lancer upgrades, and it's going to be a time for those Fire Lancers to come out. And in the meantime, Puppypaw, he's just got resources sitting in the bank, units sitting in queue, and he's the one pressuring down on DeMu's base, about to take down this outpost and about to take down a lot more of these vills, and maybe main fight starting to engage, Springald's starting to move forward, but it's all about these men-at-arms for Puppypaw. He's just diving in, moving those, longbows on the backside, firing down and out, but like I said, units in queue able to just replace all the ones that are lost.
That's really, really tough. No more meat shield now out on the field for DeMu. Means the longbows are now firing, even without micro, straight onto the crossbows and the DrDabston here. DeMu is going to be able to hold for now, though. More and more men-at-arms, though, in the queue for Puppypaw is going to be able to easily reinforce this army again. And now hand cannoneers also going to be coming into the mix, but same for DeMu. And the Chinese hand cannoneers, they're a little bit scary.
Yeah, and DeMu just on this wood line, dropping another keep on that wood line. The keep has gotten taken down, that initial one on the front side. There is an outpost that the longbows just love to A-move and attack. So Puppypaw's army not quite being the most efficient as possible. But again, whenever this is in the base of your opponent, it's always a feels good because you're pressuring his eco and you're fine on your side, untouched. Springald's trying to trade, but those are clock tower Springald's on the other side.
Still, 2 Springalds against 1 means that that side isn't going the way for DeMu here, and now the Fire Lancers are coming in. And once Fire Lancers arrive, that means that it's going to be really, really tough for Puppypaw to have Siege unprotected out on the field. It means that the Trebuchets are going to have to constantly be surrounded by units, else any moment they might get taken down. And now the Palace Guards, with their superior movement speed, do note that this is Yuan Dynasty right now for DeMu. It's not just a buff for your military with the movement speed, it's also a buff for your economy, because also your villagers are going to be moving much faster now as well.
Yep, they move a little bit faster on those rice fields, move a little bit faster. Positioning from one place to the other on the wood lines is really where it makes the most, best for yourself, as so much moving time and walking time on those wood lines. And DeMu's starting to run thinner and thinner on those wood lines like we just saw. Puppypaw moving forward yet again on top of where that Spirit Way is, and army numbers are dead even. So this game is definitely starting to extend and stall out, but Puppypaw has the map control, at least for now, and DeMu doesn't have much gold left.
Yeah, he is on the last gold mine, and the markets, do note, on this map specifically, they didn't spawn in really optimal ways right now, so going for trade is going to be really, really tough for DeMu. If he goes for it, he's not going to see too big of a return on his investment. And now the Fire Lancers, they don't have as much pierce armor as normal horsemen, so do get taken down relatively easily by the elite longbowmen and hand cannoneers that are in there as well. Units trading off right now between DeMu and Puppypaw, but it looks like Puppypaw in theory, I mean, there's more and more reinforcements coming in, but I feel like Puppypaw should take this. He does have the aura, but actually DeMu right now being able to overwhelm the front line here from Puppypaw. It's really the great equalizer when you look at the Spirit Way, and every time one of these unique units die from DeMu, all the other units get buffed up and have a similar kind of attack speed bonus to them than the English units do.
Yeah, Puppypaw's military just not all there, not all together, and DeMu's had this mass together, just fighting in unison. Hand cannoneers so strong for DeMu, and he's even getting the good old biology upgrade for those Fire Lancers, going to be so much tankier.
Puppypaw definitely has to regroup his units. There's a lot of these longbowmen now out in the queue. Now, longbows, they're really expensive on the wood count, so it's somewhat hard in the later stages of the game to just keep remassing them. Ideally, you just have that one big longbow mass that you have from Castle Age, and you always keep it alive, but did lose out a lot of those units right there, and only now are we seeing the Network of Citadels upgrade coming in, and this is actually a really good play. I'm looking at the granaries right now from DeMu. He does have a single Imperial official supervising his one of his granaries. getting 20% bonus income on that
What?
is really, really great. That's something that I like to do. Just you take your 3 Imperial officials, you put them on the granaries, then you just have one, or sometimes you take a second one Imperial official, and they just go all around, collect tax, and you're gonna get so much food then in the late game.
Look at the upgrades that are just now coming through for Puppy. Network of citadels, and more important, the elite army tactics. He hasn't had all of this time while fighting an Imperial Age. All those men-at-arms could have been so much better. He's had plenty of the resources in the bank to afford it.
He's also grabbing some upgrades for his horsemen, so horseman switch could also be coming in here from Puppypaw. Once again, armies starting to clash here. Rams are going to be able to finally take down some of these bombard emplacement outposts, but the front line from DeMu just get absolutely destroyed, but same for Puppypaw, but his front line is so easily replenishable. This hurts way more for DeMu right now.
Yeah, this is where Puppypaw finally had his mass all together and that network of citadels. It's a huge upgrade when that mass is all together under its influence, so much extra attack speed, and just taking these fights so easily now. More Fire Lancers coming in reinforcements for DeMu, but now his numbers are starting to falter, and resources, he is now out of gold.
There's some left in the bank, and I mean, with the tax, you still get a little bit of a trickle. But at some point, you lost the 1 relic that he collected, and right now, Puppypaw, he's sitting on 3 relics, and when you got 0 relics in the late game with the Chinese against the English, it's looking rough, and it looks like Puppypaw right now. He's... What? That's a lot of workers being pulled for outposts, and an outpost getting dropped in the base from DeMu here. Keep as well. This is going to be the death push, it feels like.
Yeah, the keep drop was definitely the plan, just didn't quite have enough stone for it. Has now gathered enough and easily will be able to get this up. So splits off DeMu from this western side eco, from this whole western side of the map, and forcing DeMu even further into his corner.
It gets built with a lot of speed here right now, and a lot of sprinkles forward as well. Means that DeMu isn't going to be able to take down the keep with the bombard that he's made. That was also a lot of investment. Bombard does go down, and yeah, it's gonna look really, really tough right now for DeMu. Oh.
Looks like a little bit of some drop frames here, but looks like we are starting to see DeMu start to falter, start to fall back, and Puppypaw finally is seeming to break through in DeMu's economy.
Yeah, DeMu tries to get another keep up in his own base right now, just wants to defend as much as possible. Getting some, drop frames, as you're saying, and a little bit tough right now.
We're starting to see the longbows try to take down the keep. All these vills on top of it. Keep will definitely end up going up just because of that Chinese build speed. So stalls this game out for a little bit longer. But DeMu, he doesn't have much space left, and he is on his last limbs.
Puppypaw doesn't have any siege out, or at least nothing against buildings right now. He's starting to make a couple more rams now. But this definitely, as you said, is going to stall the push out a little bit longer here. But looking at the food count and the gold income right now for these players, I mean, DeMu, he's struggling. He's got a lot of wood left, but nothing really to invest that wood into. It really comes down mostly to the fact that Puppypaw managed to wall himself in the way he did, and I mean, China in this stage of the game, they want to raid, and Puppypaw just not letting that happen.
Yeah, I feel like DeMu is doing what I expect Puppypaw to do, which is just start spamming rams out and just start to get rams all over the place because they pay off so well with those Imperial Age upgrades. They're so hard to take down, and they usually take down a couple of buildings, farms, whatever they may be before they get taken down, and if not, it's still military or villager distraction.
Exactly, and this is, I mean, still looking so rough like right now. The military mass from Puppypaw, it's just so easily reinforceable. Now, actually, DeMu, though, has a good mass again. That ram is not going to make it all the way to the keep at all. This is the best unit to make against rams, honestly. Like, the Fire Lancers, this is what I feel like every melee unit should be able to do in terms of damage to rams.
Oh, and he finds a little hole. Oh, that's not Puppy's wall. That's his wall. I thought it was.
Still not quite in there yet. Not quite in there yet.
Oh, that was
I was
such
happy
a
there
bait.
for a second as well. Yeah, that could have been really, really epic for him. But yeah, isn't gonna find a way in yet.
Ram taken on out. DeMu's all over these wood lines, all over the map, but wood's not what he needs. What he desperately needs is gold. As you see, 93 sitting in the bank. He can't make any of these premium units. Finds a good bit of vills of Puppypaws, but Puppypaw just pulls back and still kind of holding that frontal assault with the keeps that he dropped.
Yeah, and with the melee panting here, the horsemen, they just get, or the Firelands, they just get body blocked, and the Berkshire takes care of them. More Firelancers running out though to potentially take care of some of these Springles. Body blocking coming in, those Springles are gonna live.
Yep, Springham's still living. Ram just getting as much damage as possible before taken down. And Puppypaw not really investing a ton into the siege. Has a few more Rams on the way, but Keep's not going to be the easiest to take down with just men-at-arms right now.
DeMu actually made a third TC in the corner as a tax drop-off point. Can we actually take a quick look at how much tax is sitting inside of his granaries right now? Whether he's been able to collect that the entire game, or maybe it's just been a huge point of tax for him. He did manage to pick it off the entire time, so there's not like a hidden gem of gold there for him.
Keep is on fire. Rams from DeMu pushing up. He wants to take down this keep, resecure that mid-ground location on his side, but just so hard for himself. He gets a few hammers in, keep rebuilds the keep just a little bit, and starting to push back yet again.
Yeah, Rams are gonna now finally be able to take down that keep from Puppypaw. Slowly but surely. Not sure if Puppypaw did grab Corner Architects, because that keep has been alive for quite a long time. And keep does go down.
Wow, DeMu's the one able to take the keep out first. And this is where, like I said, DeMu was the one doing what I expected Puppy to do, just massing up these Rams non-stop. And Puppypaw doesn't have the military comp to take down those Rams. And oh my, DeMu is taking Puppypaw's wood lines.
Yeah, I feel like he just wants to exhaust the map as soon as possible here. Issue is though, if the map gets completely exhausted of resources, if there's any civilization that can still make units, it's gonna be the English.
Yeah, it's maybe one that he says, well, at least if he's getting wood, he's getting it from Puppypaw's side and holding his main two wood line sets all the way on his north side for the long game. But Puppypaw, I feel like it's just a matter of time. There's been writing on the wall, unless there is a big mistake, a big mess up where Puppypaw just doesn't respect something from DeMu, then this is one where I feel like he might just be able to take this here soon.
You know, Puppypaw, he could have gone for the sacred side quite a while ago, considering that the last one is probably in range of his Berkshire Palace even.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. It definitely is. That Berkshire Palace range is massive and does so much damage. Puppypaw finally deciding to push up into maybe some more of the eco, take down the University of DeMu. There's a bunch of houses as well. Not anything too great to pick up there.
Still, the entire time, DeMu has not been able to get in any raids right now. He does have some Palace Guards, and I feel like once your gold gets like this dangerously low, Palace Guards are probably the only unit that you can afford, just because they only cost 20 gold each, and you get some gold back. Finally, we see Rams coming out, and with that, if there's finally an opening, DeMu is going to be able to push out some Fire Lancers here.
Yeah, and this is just one of the things that the Rams getting buffed does such a great job at doing, is breaking down different spots and not causing too much population investment there. Puppy's doing the same thing though as DeMu. He's now getting housed from this.
DeMu in theory should be able to kite quite well with his hand cannons if he chooses to do so. Does have more movement speed, does have a lot more range. Now the hand cannons are down, and he's going to be able to take down a lot of these longbows now with his hand cannons. Looks like Puppypaw finally took that last sacred side, so he's going to be able to get a timer going out now for DeMu. Firelances try to get in. Oh, going to be able to quite squeeze through here. There's a lot of spearmen.
There were villagers there. Oh, Puppypaw pulled the villagers there, but didn't rebuild the wall in time. A little small battalion of Fire Lancers get through, but he should be able to clear it up. Speaking of clear it up, DeMu has cleared up the smaller raid of Puppypaw.
And now Fire Lancers are going to be in the base of Puppypaw. It's going to be really annoying to deal with them and just to keep up with them, make sure that they're not killing out too many villagers, but Puppypaw probably doesn't have too big of an issue when it comes to reinvesting into villagers, and does have his 2TC with that landmark, but any villager kill here is value for DeMu, and he definitely needs a lot of it if he wants to win this game against the English in late game.
Yeah, you can see how Puppypaw, he's losing his vills, but he's replacing it with military now. Finally. And this is where, like, I feel like it's a good point. DeMu's feeling good picking up some vills there, but Puppypaw goes, yeah, well, now I actually have this giant mass together, and his problem was during these fights, he wasn't able to win the fights heavy enough balled up. Well, now he should be able to have that with 95 units out on the field.
Yeah, 94 units versus 49. I mean, the army count from Puppypaw right now is kind of scary if you're DeMu. I feel like at this point, with this many units, he can just go for Death Push, just run it in, maybe even go for like Sacred Side victory, not Sacred Side, Landmark victory against the Chinese, which is not something that we see too many times. I mean, the timer is still ticking, so could just be happy and content with having that timer slowly tick here for DeMu. Boiling Oil is still on that keep, still has to be careful, lets the Rams do the job here.
Yeah, a couple of those Rams come in. I wouldn't be surprised to see some of these units try to split off and go towards the granaries, but for now, just staying together, taking down everything in the path of them. Like I said, with 90 units together, this is going to be hard for DeMu to stop, even with his Fire Lancers getting some good connections.
It managed to take out the Rams though, and the keep has been firing throughout all this time. Meanwhile, the hand cannoneers with their bonus range, they do so well here, and actually, we didn't see it in the interface, but DeMu, he's got a pagoda out there with the relic inside, so we don't see it in the interface. I guess it only picks up the ones that are in the monastery. That's a nice touch here from DeMu that he did go for that pagoda. So he is able to at least get some resource here passively when it comes to resource like Stone Fox. Oh, that's a lot of Rams.
And that's what I was expecting from Puppypaw at some point, but still hasn't happened yet. And those Rams are going to be able to wipe everything in their path if Puppypaw doesn't have the melee mass to deal with it. But still, back up to 75 units in the blink of an eye, getting cannons out. So he said Rams, military units, they're not doing enough. We need the biggest, best damage out there to take down buildings.
Yeah, I mean, the cannons, they're going to do a great job here when it comes to that, and
I mean, a blink of an eye, it's gone.
It's pretty fast. I mean, when the bombards get the network of citadels here as well, I mean, whew.
10 Rams as DeMu's front line, but Puppypaw, he's more than doubling the mass out of DeMu and should be able to clear out this front line, clear out the backside hand cannoneers as well. Even has some horsemen that might start circling around, and just DeMu finally getting to the point. I've said it a couple times, but finally getting to the point where he's looking really, really worrisome as he's getting further and further back into his corner.
He's only letting his Rams right now push back, and I mean, honestly, this is a great bit of delay here that's coming in. Just all of these Rams, I mean, you can't leave them unaddressed, right? If you leave them unaddressed, they actually destroy so much of your infrastructure that you've invested so much wood into, and wood is kind of the name of the game here in the later stages of the game. And yeah, definitely can't just let those get taken down. Oh, another landmark did just get taken down. I mean, Sacred Side victory is also still approaching. 5 more minutes, and if DeMu can't push out, there's only 2 Sacred Sites that he can realistically have access to if he doesn't get another hole in the wall of Puppypaw. But they're both relatively close to the infrastructure from Puppypaw, where all of his units are coming from. And yeah, it looks like DeMu realizes that he's not going to be able to recap any of these Sacred Sites, and he calls the game. That was a wild one.
That one was a wild one. There were multiple times that I thought DeMu was fully dead in the water, but was able to extend it out, able to show you the power of Chinese, especially those Chinese keeps, just able to hold and extending out the game.
Yeah, and I mean, what a fight it was. Look at that. So many villagers did go down at one point for DeMu, but he did hang on, and I mean, it looked pretty good for him there at some points, but if you can't get like a good trade going in, if you can't get good raids against English in the late game, you just fall more and more behind, and DeMu just wasn't able to quite keep up with the reinforcements. And the Sacred side, with all the map control on the side of Puppypaw, it's just there wasn't a chance for him to recap those.